It's a front, a coded signal for the deep state. Think about it, late night sounds innocent, right? But flip it. Late means delayed, hidden, obscured. He's dropping truth bombs in the dead of night when the normies are asleep. And the Leo battles part? Leo's a lion, king of the jungle, battling the system. He's fighting shadow war against big tech, or maybe even lizard people running the airwaves.
Are you not entertained? Are you not entertained?
Every time, every night is a loose one. And every flight, you know that I put the crew on. You say that I dropped
The Vatican. And, so, are you in the Vatican? Like,
Yeah, well, I guess technically right now I am, but not really at the same time. I'm in Rome.
Okay.
And this is a Vatican-owned building, so technically it's like Vatican, you know. Technically I'm inside the Vatican, but no, not inside the walls. No, I don't live inside the walls of the Vatican, but I have been inside. I do get to go inside because I have my like Vatican card to go inside.
Oh, that's cool. And so it's so is it like so it's its own country from my understanding. I mean, I was trying to do some research on it and
Yeah, smallest in the world, I believe. Yeah, which is crazy. Yeah, because you're one moment you're in Rome, the next you're in the Vatican, and then you can just walk across it like in what 20 minutes or something. It's very small. Yeah.
oh crap. That's crazy. Yeah, and so so people make lines so and we're funny enough, me and Emily, and I wanted to surprise you with this. We're actually gonna go to Europe in October.
No.
Yeah.
Amazing.
Yeah.
Oh,
So that's the plan, at least God willing, we can, do that, make that happen. I took off for work and everything and all that, so told her about it. So hopefully we get to
nice.
see you there. And
Yeah, please come visit.
yeah, for sure. So, and then I was looking like the Basilica. So what are the different like places that you can go there? I mean, what's like the um yeah, like what's like the go-to like if you want to go to Catechumen's? Because I saw that you can make lines, like or people make line or pay to go into it, or what is that?
Yeah. So like the Basilica of St. Peter's is well the main like Vatican basilica, right? That you see in all the postcards and all that. Um, that one's free, like to get into. Uh, but yeah, there's some crazy lines in high season, like when it's very touristy in Rome. A lot of people go in, so there's some massive long lineups. Thankfully, I don't have to line up to go in. I can just skip the line and show my card. But yeah, some people like there's so many scams going on and stuff. Like people trying to get you to pay to skip the line, and I don't really know. I never understood how that works because I don't think you can just skip the line. Um, so I don't know what they do. I don't really know
They're
if
like
it's for the
scalpers, like selling tickets or something, or what? Like,
yeah, something like that. Yeah, it's like you don't really need a ticket, so they're making money off of ignorance, I guess.
oh my
Or
God.
just not just people that
Yeah, no, it
don't really
is.
know what to do, You're in a
Yeah.
new place.
Oh
You're
my
just looking for
gosh.
information. Yeah. Yeah.
That's funny. I didn't
Exactly.
know that. Well, I mean, it would make sense because I think that's what we were talking with a friend, and this is kind of like a little turn, but on finances, like Wall Street, right? Wall Street
Yeah.
usually you pay, someone to do like your finances or whatever, but it's information that's out there if you know how to do it. I think we had a conversation about strategies that you use and stuff like that in investing.
Yeah,
Same thing for the lines. I think that they're again, it's people that are wanting information. It's like, okay, it's better to pay and stuff like that. But it's obviously, I've seen that it says it's free, but the line is super long, I guess, and they can't cut. So what are they
yeah,
trying to
yeah.
do?
Look,
Maybe
there's
it's not like Wall
so
Street.
many. Maybe it's not. Yeah. No, no. Uh, or maybe it is.
Yeah,
Maybe it's exactly like Wall Street.
just ripping people off
No.
like
Yeah, it's just a bunch of scams.
Oh, that's
Go
funny.
short on this stock. It's gonna
Gosh.
collapse, and then it goes up like 40% the next day. No, no. But yeah, no, it's there's so many things happening here in Rome.
Yeah.
That's one of them, yeah. Um
What
but yeah, there's
about
so
the
many.
the Colosseum? Like, what's funny is that everybody thinks of it as this place that Lizzie McGuire and you can do, um, uh, call it, like concerts on it and stuff like that, but you can't actually stand on it.
So you can go inside. You can go inside.
Okay.
Um but well, okay. There's places where you can't go. Yeah,
Mhm.
definitely, like where you can't stand because they try and preserve it.
Mhm.
Um I've never been inside
Oh.
because of the crazy lineups. I know everyone that comes to visit me, they go inside, and I don't go. Um, but, but I've been outside around it uh, so many times, and yeah, there's so many people there. Um, but yeah, there was this story of a guy, some tourist. I think he was from America, actually. Not to poke fun, but I think he graffitied it and like on the Colosseum itself,
Uh-huh.
like inside on one of the walls. And this is, you know, I don't know, like human patrimony. Like it's this,
Yeah.
it's the Colosseum, and I think
Yeah.
they got like a really hefty penalty, yeah, something like that. But
Yeah, it's like I would
yeah,
think of. I mean, it's like, isn't it? I don't know if it's it's a wonder of the world, but I would put it up there with like the pyramids. Like this is like some sacred place. Like
yeah,
where they
it's
used to.
2,000 years old. It's insane. Like when you stand in front of it, you're like, this is 2,000 years old.
My
That's
goodness,
crazy.
that's
So
crazy.
many places in Rome are like that, you know. Yeah, we're just wow, civilization, like organized civilization has
Yeah,
been going on for that long. That's crazy. That's
yeah.
crazy.
So
Yeah.
would it be I mean Caesar was there and stuff like that. What about the guy like so was this around the same time that, Jesus got like crucifixed? Like
Yeah, I don't know the exact date of when the Colosseum would have been erected,
mhm,
but um yeah, there's definitely some places because the Roman Empire was
mhm,
in full force when Jesus was carrying out his ministry and all that.
mhm,
So when he was crucified, obviously he was um, sentenced by Pilate, who was a
mhm,
Roman,
mhm.
so part of the Roman Empire. So I think I don't want to say
Yeah.
something wrong, but I think the Colosseum would have already been there. Um, there's some other stuff for like Saint Peter and some other saints like Saint Paul, where the for example the obelisk at Saint Peter's Square
Yeah.
would have been there uh, when Peter when Peter got also crucified. So
That's
it's
crazy.
crazy. Yeah.
I think it's so interesting to think about these places that I mean all this history. I mean like I said, 2,000 years old, and so much stuff happened like between now and then. And I mean obviously in this case like the birth of Christianity, um and Catholicism and all these what we believe to this day still nowadays, and faith and practices and religion and well, obviously religious tradition in this case. And I think it's crazy to think that the Roman Empire was the one that essentially put you know Jesus on the cross. I think that's insane because Pontius Pilate was, yeah, you're right, Roman. And
Yeah. Yeah.
do you,
It,
sorry, go ahead.
no, yeah, it's crazy to think about the same things that I'm seeing while walking around Rome. Like,
Yeah.
while it's not where Jesus was,
Hmm.
it is part of the empire that would have influenced the time of Jesus.
Yeah.
So it's crazy to think, my goodness, this place is old. Like,
Yeah.
this is really old.
And is that why they, or would it be because Rome was Rome the capital of Rome? Is that the Roman Empire? Is that like where you're at? Was that like where it used to be the capital, like the main place?
Yeah, it used to be the center of the empire. Yeah. Yeah.
That's insane.
Where all the like organizational bodies were, and you can see in the Roman forums, there's a street where you can walk alongside it, and on your right and on your left, there's ruins from like 2,000 years old or 1,500 years old, or sorry, not 1,500, but like like at around 2,000 years old.
Yeah.
And and it's crazy because you see the inscriptions about like the Senate of Rome and the people of Rome, and it's one of the inscriptions, SPQR. If I'm not mistaken, it's Senatus Populusque Romanus, something like that. It's like the Senate and the people of Rome. And that is, you see it all around the city in different places. And also like on the, like even modern day things that the city puts in place, it still have the SPQR. Yeah.
So what does that mean in
SPQR? So let me quickly look it up so I'm not making this up.
Obviously, you speak a little Italian, it sounds like.
Yeah. No, but this would be Latin. This would be Latin.
Oh.
Yeah. The Senate and people of Rome. Senatus Populusque Romanus. Yeah. The Senate and the people of Rome.
Holy moly, that's crazy. They spoke Latin back then, of course.
Yeah. That would have been the language of the time.
For some reason, it's like, when those conversations, I'm like, okay, around this time, Rome, Latin, everything, like, all this is coming together. I'm like, holy crap. Like, and then, so do you think that they put like the Vatican there, like in the center of Rome on purpose? Because like, or was that always there, or how'd that happen? Do you know?
Yeah, it would have. Well, it's crazy because Saint Peter and Saint Paul came to Rome, right? And they came here. They died here. They were martyred here, and so it kind of, the Roman Empire obviously was not Christian before, so that's why they killed him basically. So
Traitor.
So
You're crazy.
Yeah. Who's the Jesus guy? So the Vatican itself, the name actually isn't Christian. It comes from the time of the Romans when, like the very place where the Vatican is now used to be a circus, like where they would, do all these games and crucify people and all this stuff, like crazy stuff from back then. And so at the center of the circus, there would have been an obelisk, which was moved into St. Peter's Square, where St. Peter's Square is now. So places like that were turned Catholic, I guess, over time, with the emperor that accepted Catholicism, Emperor Constantine. So
Constantine. Yeah.
Yeah. First Catholic emperor. Constantine the First. Yeah.
Constantine. Yeah.
So he I visited the necropolis in the Vatican, like underneath St. Peter's. And you can see old Roman tombs and old streets. Yeah, like made out of marble. You can see the remains. Streets because they would have sunk like over 2,000 years. They kind of sink, right?
God.
They get lower and lower and they get covered by more layers. of Earth.
Yeah.
So yeah, they show it. I did the tour. I
Yeah.
definitely recommend it.
Yeah.
And you can see, yeah, like even marble. They had marble roads. Like what the heck?
Yeah.
Imagine driving
Marble.
on marble. That's crazy.
Yeah. Is it slick?
Yeah.
Like very slick, or is it obviously, or what would be marble? Should be like not polished like they do it today. I'm thinking of like a counter, like you said, marble.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah. No, it's like imagine driving on a kitchen counter. I guess they wouldn't have had cars back then, so it's not an issue.
yeah.
Um,
Poor horse. Imagine
yeah,
barefoot on
poor.
that thing. Slipping everywhere.
Yeah.
Oh man,
Oh
that's
man.
crazy. So so there's okay, yeah, so there's so many things that I've like whenever like we're talking with Emily on like where we want to go and stuff and what we want to do. And I think we're gonna do like a like a trip sometime in someplace in Rome, hang out with you and then go to London or something. But the the okay, obviously everybody has there's a level of confidentiality that you have like within the Vatican and stuff like that happens there and everything. What I want to know is the experience on working in the Vatican. And I've seen even pictures like whenever you walk in, like people like salute you and stuff like that because you're an official there. And so what is that like, working there?
Yeah, the Swiss guard at the entrance, like each Vatican entrance, there's a Swiss guard, because they're like the papal guard.
Yeah.
And yeah, like not every entrance does a
Uh-huh.
salute, but there's some where they'll always salute you
Hmm.
if you show that you are,
Yeah.
a Vatican employee. So
Yeah.
it's so weird. I still I haven't gotten used to it, but it's also really cool. Like,
Yeah.
who am I to be saluted by the Swiss guard? you know. Yeah.
Oh, that's funny.
Yeah, yeah, but yeah, there's of course there's so much like secrecy around.
Yeah.
Like, well, it's kind of complicated, but
Yeah.
if you ask anybody,
Yeah.
like, that maybe doesn't know that much about the Vatican, they'll think secrets, you
Yeah.
know?
Yeah.
And to a certain extent, they're right because, I mean, like any state, because remember it's a
Right.
country,
Right.
there are confidential things
Correct.
that need to be kept confidential to, I guess, in a way, protect the state. But it's a bit weird, and people see it as a bit weird because it's also a church. It's a religion. So it's
Right.
like, what secrets are they keeping?
Yeah. Yeah.
But
All the
sorry to
conspiracies and
disappoint.
yeah.
Yeah, I'm sorry to disappoint anybody that was hoping for like a crazy revelation or something, or a crazy reveal.
That's part 2 of the podcast, guys.
Yeah.
I'm kidding.
Uh,
But
no,
no,
it's
yeah.
like don't get me fired.
No, no, of course. Like, I used to work at, and I think we had a conversation about this. And, I used to work at for an international government before. And,
Mm.
work for Guatemala, Central America, actually. Anyways, that's a whole different subject. But yeah, there is, everybody has that big curiosity. It's like, what goes on inside there? And like, you said it's an employee and then there's state and religion. You shouldn't mix those two together. At least that's what they say here in the Western Hemisphere. Um,
Mm.
and, yeah, I think, I don't know. Obviously I find it super fascinating and lots of people find it fascinating and that
Yeah,
it's also like you're an employee of a country. So but it's also
yeah.
a
It's like
church.
I take it as it's comparable to being a government employee.
Yeah.
Really,
Okay.
yeah,
Yeah.
it's very similar, and
Yeah.
it really is like its own. You really get a sense for it once you get used to like going inside and there's different places that you go to that nobody really
Yeah.
knows about.
Yeah.
Um, and you really get a sense for it being a country. Like there's a
Yeah.
hospital inside. I don't know if you knew that. Like there's a hospital
No.
inside. There's a grocery store inside the Vatican.
Wow.
Yeah, there's a gas station, things like that. I mean, these are not secrets, so it's fine. But
Well, these are definitely revelations. I think you
so,
blew someone's
yeah.
mind, doesn't
I'm like, it's totally fine, right? It's totally fine.
it? Oh, that's funny. And
Oh.
yeah, I didn't. Well, yeah, it's like it has to be a city. So you're like, what do you drive like your little moped around, or you just walk everywhere? It's just like walking distance everywhere. Like,
I drive my Vespa around everywhere, man. No, I'm kidding. My dad always jokes about that. You should get a Vespa. You should get a Vespa. Yes. But no, I walk around everywhere. Thankfully, it's I'm in a pretty central location, so it's not that hard to get around by foot. Yeah, it's really nice. Like you get to really soak in
yeah,
the beauty of the city and
yeah.
also the annoyances as well.
Well, I was
But
gonna ask you
yeah.
because obviously there's like a very touristy place. So I mean, I'm sure that gets on your nerves sometimes, like walking around and people taking pictures. How many people's pictures do you think you're in that you don't even know of? Like,
Videos, like wedding photos. I don't know. Like, I'm like, I should start charging.
you should.
It's yeah,
I
because
would.
there's the guys dressed up as gladiators, right? And then they ask for a tip. I'm like, every photo bomb I'm in, I should ask for a tip.
Oh my gosh. They
Uh,
literally, yeah, I was like, well, what's cool is, like, so I'm gonna do, like at the beginning of like other podcasts and stuff like that, I'm gonna do like a music, like, music to go with. And I'm gonna pick, I don't know if you heard the song, Are You Not Entertained by Ed Sheeran and Russ?
Oh, I haven't listened to it, but it's a reference, right? It's a reference to the Gladiator.
Oh yeah, big time. Yeah, sorry, you cut out a
Yeah.
little bit. Um,
Oh, sorry.
Yeah, so it's gonna be yeah, it's gonna be cool. So I'm like I was going with the team, Rome and stuff like that. So
Yeah, yeah,
gladiators, obviously that that happened in the Colosseum and everything. And I
yeah.
mean, so what's life in Rome and like in general? Like what's it like walking around? A lot of espressos everywhere and pizza and
Yeah, yeah, no, lots of pizza, lots of coffee. Like
that's amazing.
tremendous amounts.
Sounds like
Yeah.
a great time.
Yeah, I know. It sounds like a great time, and then 2 years go by, and you're like, I don't think I can have one more slice of pizza. Yeah, I'm tired. Like, I kid you not. Pasta, pizza and pasta, right? So, pasta, I have pasta available to eat every single day in the building I live in. Like, there's pasta every day. And Italians will tell you they don't eat pasta every day, but I think they're lying. 'Cause dude, there's pasta everywhere. Like, every house I know of, like that is religious or like
Yeah.
Vatican connected or even other stuff, they serve pasta every day. It's crazy. Like,
Does, do they have like
yeah,
different flavors of pastas or something or like
at this, I don't want to offend any Italians, but at this point, I'm like, it's just no. I shouldn't say it. I shouldn't say it.
fratello, fratello?
Yeah, yeah. I gotta be careful, man. Italians are very proud of their food.
Uh,
They're very, very proud of their pasta. Yeah, yeah,
we're with my like with Andres, my brother. We play soccer with some like with his work, and there's just two. This is a talent. This is like one of his best friends, and then he brings his brother, and then we lost the game. Like we were playing against each other, dude. I swear they were just like really. I mean, they're just very like emotional, but like Latin, right? Like
yeah, yeah,
Latinos. They're very lots of emotion into it and everything. And they were like, city, da, 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 da. They're just like yelling at each other, going back and forth. I'm like,
yeah,
oh, this is amazing. Like,
yeah. No, it's really. They swear a lot.
do
They
they?
swear a lot. Yeah, yeah. Ma
Oh,
che cazzo?
guys.
That's yeah. You hear that so much just walking around. It's like everybody, so much honking. Um,
Really?
Like the cars are tiny too. That's something that I was shocked by when I first came because um for anybody listening, like I'm from Alberta, Canada.
Uh-huh.
So it's like Alberta's known for having trucks, you know, like 4x4s and just massive vehicles.
Yeah.
um, but then I came from Alberta to here, and it's like the tiny Fiats, like the Mini and all that. It's just a
Oh,
bunch of tiny cars and like honk honk. You know, it's kind of cute. Yeah,
I was
yeah.
gonna say the honk meets the style of the car, so it's like very cute.
Yeah, no, exactly. No, you won't have like a mini go. You know?
That'd be
But
funny.
it could, yeah, it would be funny. Yeah.
Just disrupt the
Um,
entire honking, what is it, community and
yeah, no, there's probably like regulations and everything. Like, I'm kidding.
yeah. I
Uh,
was gonna, wait, could
and,
you, so you could have a truck over there though, right? Or you can't, or can you? Can?
I mean, no, like you can and you can't.
Yeah,
Like nobody's stopping you from buying a truck and driving to Rome.
yeah.
But um it's not very practical. Like there's a bunch of places where you won't fit and definitely will be getting lots of hunks.
Oh, that's,
Yeah.
oh my God. I just literally, like, yeah, I just imagine like, like, beep, 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 and then like these little big things, just like little cars are going behind them.
It's like straight out of a cartoon.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's what I was picturing. Oh, that's funny.
Yeah.
Man, that's crazy. So Alberta, Canada, obviously what they're calling it, or at least what our president here is calling it, what wants to be the 51st state. Oh,
Oh
that,
my.
oh my.
Let's stir the pot here.
Yeah, that's it.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, obviously Canadians are not for that. It's very vocal, and then they just changed, like the governor or what is it, prime minister, which was Trudeau, and now is the new guy. And he seems pretty stern about obviously not doing that.
Yeah, like every party leader is against that. Every major party at least.
Yeah.
But yeah, Mark Carney. Mark Carney is the current prime minister.
Mhm.
Yeah, I mean, he became prime minister without elections. So,
Mhm.
he was just appointed because Trudeau stepped down.
Mhm.
So, he called elections pretty quickly. I gotta
Yeah.
say, at least I am happy with that.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, it's like the pretty general sentiment that we do not want to be the 51st state.
I don't think it's, yeah.
Uh,
At this point, I don't think I think it's a ludicrous idea. I'll be honest with you. Maybe it's just a propaganda or marketing of some sort. I don't know, but yeah, I think it's a little crazy to think like that.
yeah, I don't know.
uh
I want to be reasonable. I want to think that it's just a negotiating tactic. Like,
that's
Trump's a businessman, so he's
right.
like twisting Canada's arm to try and get a deal,
Yeah, yeah,
Maybe that's kind of how I see it. At least that's how I want to see it,
yeah.
And like
No,
I don't want to believe that he actually wants that.
I agree. I agree. I think it's there's got to be a, like, what is it, like what I like to call is like a domino effect on like all these things that are happening right now with the world, and obviously the United States being in the center of a lot of the stages, or if not, or the leader, in other words, right? Um, so what is the point? And I don't know, maybe there's a long-term game. Obviously, it's way over my head, way over a lot of people's pay grades. Trying to figure that out, but
Yeah, but there are some people in Canada, I will say, I mean, I haven't seen the stats or anything, but I would say they're more of a minority who do want to join America, because the situation in Canada right now is such that it's really bad.
Mhm.
Housing um, costs are through the roof, no pun
Yeah.
intended, and the cost of living in general, like food and um, the famous carbon tax that was
Mhm.
just recently paused, I will say. We'll see if it actually gets repealed. Um, I don't think so under this government,
Yeah.
um, but yeah, we'll see after the
Yeah.
elections. Um,
What is the carbon
then
tax?
there's
Sorry.
what's the carbon tax? The
Yeah.
carbon tax is, oh man, don't get me riled up. The carbon tax is the most annoying thing on planet Earth.
Really?
No, yeah, it's this idea that by taxing, you know, things that are tied to high emissions, like
Uh-huh.
that's
Yeah,
why
yeah.
they call it carbon tax.
Yeah.
That you will reduce emissions because you discourage people from buying those things
Yeah.
and switching to more sustainable alternatives. So in theory, sounds kind of nice.
Yeah.
In reality, I mean, the experiment has been done in Canada and it failed. It failed really badly, like because I mean, Canada is a very environmentally friendly country, like very conscious, I would say, of the environment. There's so many regulations, like, um, yeah. But anyway, uh, that just what it did was it brought up the cost of so many goods, like especially gas prices, like and food, and because farmers need gas, so they get taxed there. Um, they raise up their
What?
costs. Then all through the supply chain,
Yeah.
you get different layers of the same tax, which just adds up, adds up, adds up, and then the cost goes up, right? And they kept on raising the tax. I think they I don't know if they got around to it, but I think they were quadrupling it from what originally was intended. So that's the liberal
My
government
God.
that's currently in power. So yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's one thing in Canada happening. They paused it for now because I think it's because it's elections period, so it's unpopular.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah. So I don't know. We'll
Wow.
see. Yeah.
I didn't know that. I mean, I always seen, Canada's obviously, well, it's your we're literally neighbors. Um, Same kind of culture-ish, right? And
Very similar, yeah.
yeah, and people can come in and out of like from Canada, stuff like that. And but I've heard because I used to like study like the health insurance. Say I'm in insurance. I think everybody listening to this knows this. But uh, pretty much like like health insurance over there and like the medical treatments, like it takes a long time, from my understanding, to get like a doctor.
Yeah, no, it's really bad. Right now especially, waiting times, even just in the emergency rooms, in the hospitals, they're crazy. I mean,
Really?
one of my family members went not that long ago, and I think they waited like 10 hours, something crazy like that, till they got,
For an
uh,
emergency.
yeah, in the emergency room. Yeah,
My
yeah.
gosh.
And yeah, it's crazy. I mean, that's for just emergencies, and then there's surgeries and things that like for serious stuff. There's so many cases of people that have died waiting, for their surgery
Really?
date. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
That's
It's
crazy.
really bad. It's kind of sad because when I was in high school, I remember they taught us this. The Canadian healthcare system is the best thing in the world, and
Well, because
and
it's free, right? Or something like that? Or is it's
yeah,
low cost?
and that's the thing, that it is free, and so we thought, oh, we're so much better than the Americans because we have free healthcare and they don't, and they envy us, and now I don't know much about the healthcare system in America, but
Mhm.
I mean, I'm sure you would know about it a lot.
Yeah.
Um, but yeah, like it's free, but then it also has a cost. I mean,
Yeah.
people, if you die, the cost you're paying is your life. I mean, that's
Yeah,
not
yeah, of course.
free. That's not free at all.
Well,
So there's a major change that
th
needs to
th
happen there.
there
Definitely. Yeah.
there's like for example, like here, like it's just you have to have like they'll take care of you, but like they are like the insurance companies here. There's literally like five major ones. And basically, they all have like contracts with each other and like they vet each other because they're connected to the government. And now one of the things that they're trying to fight is essentially, which is the downside, because you can get good coverage here and then fast, but you have to pay. Like you have to have insurance and you have to do all this. But say, for example, some people are like, they've gone like they're like sick, they don't have insurance, or they get denied by their insurance and they're like, well, you can't, you will fix you, but now you're like in $200,000 in debt. So that's like the other spectrum, right? Like, it's free
Yeah.
and then you have to
Yeah.
wait, or you either get like carbon taxed by
Yeah.
being by being sick, what I mean?
Carbon
It's like,
taxed and
yeah.
or steel taxed.
Or
That's what
still,
he's talking about
yeah,
doing
still.
now instead of the carbon tax. But anyway, yeah, or you get taxed till you die.
Yeah, like
Uh,
it's just money at the end of the day. I'm like, my goodness, like anyways, but speaking on taxes and all this stuff, obviously the famous tariffs were dropped today, or they've been dropping back and forth, and with Canada, like today, they dropped, was it 10%? Um, Trump dropped 10% for all the countries worldwide, and then there's particular ones, and I'm looking at it right here. Let's see, Canada, Cambodia. I think Canada got like 20 something percent or something like that. Um,
okay, so like what 25
so the
or
EU got 20, um, imposed 20%. Hold on. China got 54.
oh,
Uh,
54.
yeah. So
Oh
it's
my,
like,
on all goods or
yeah, I
like
think on all goods. And hold on, country by basis, 25 countries, Cambodia, China. Hold on, let me see this. Um, yeah, it's
oh okay,
so
yeah.
basically, they're the idea of all the India got 26, Europe got 20, China, what is it? Canada's not mentioned on this, but I did see something earlier where they were like going back on that. Um,
Yeah.
or something like that, or I think that was Israel. I can't remember which one it was. There's so much news about this, but
There's lots of tariffs.
tariffs, yeah,
There's
tariffs.
there's well, I know, like I've been following it pretty closely.
Mhm,
That it has basically been a tariff war or threats of the tariff war with Canada.
mhm,
Um, and I, it seems like every time like the day comes,
mhm.
they get dropped, and so
Yeah,
it's like okay, and it's happened twice already, and so today, I guess this one, I'm just reading here.
yeah,
A 25% tariff on non-USMCA compliant goods from Canada and Mexico has been in place since March 4th,
yeah.
with a 10% tariff on energy products and potash from Canada falling outside USMCA preferences. USMCA compliant goods remain at 0%. So it's
See,
like part of all the goods that are part of the agreement between Canada and
yeah.
Mexico and the United States, they're not tariffed. Yeah.
So I
So
was thinking, and then that's what I was thinking, because that was signed, like whenever Trump was president, like before, yeah, 20, what is it, 40?
yeah,
I don't
yeah,
even know what
his
year,
previous
2016 or whatever.
term. Yeah.
Yeah. And so that's, well, it was in place already. It got renegotiated. Then now it's like, I was thinking, I'm like, well, how can he impose it if they have that agreement going on? Well, I guess, well, as you said, it's just everything outside of that agreement, which I thought it was like the whole thing. Like, as I think from my understanding, like we could like, was it Trudeau the other day was able to launch missiles from the United States or something? Like we have like some sort of like war pact 2 or something. which
Oh, okay.
I'm not
Yeah,
even,
yeah.
which I'm not even sure of how that works.
Well, yeah, no, I mean Canada and the United States, like they're two allies like the world has never seen. And
Yeah.
for over 100 years, I mean, we've been pretty close, economic and military allies. So, I mean, I hate that Trudeau said it first, but
Yeah.
he isn't wrong about this.
Yeah.
That we have fought together. I mean,
Yeah.
in wars uh, and I mean, I always thought of the United States as like they're like cousins, you know.
Right. Right.
Uh,
Yeah.
so I mean, you're my cousin, and
Yeah.
I like you. So
I hope so.
Yeah.
Yeah, so it's like, no, I agree because it's like I've never been to Canada. My parents have been to Canada. I go visit you guys or Madi, um, and they, you know, they like there's Five Guys there, like burger. I mean, there's everything like just like in the United
But
States.
you
It's just
you guys don't have oh you know okay
no,
no
we do,
oh
we do.
okay I get it I was like, wait a second, isn't Five Guys American?
Yeah, it is.
yeah no
So it's
yeah.
like we got, a bunch of like we share a bunch of like the culture in a sense, different little bit different accent, but I think you can find different accents even going from New York to Texas. Not maybe. You definitely find different accents everywhere. So
Yeah.
I don't know. This is like a crazy thought, and it's funny. I was talking to someone about this, like a little conspiracy. Like what if all this tariff stuff that's going on between Mexico and because of that pact and everything and Canada, like what if it's actually like not like and they're just trying to tariff like everybody else? Like, can you imagine that? Like, it's just like
So like they're pretending to tariff each other to tariff everybody else, kind of thing.
what if, right? Like,
Yeah,
I
what
don't know.
if? I mean, you can have so much fun with conspiracy theories. Like, have you seen the new AI? Well, I don't know if it's new, but Grok, the
Yeah.
X,
Oh yeah.
it has like an option where you can
They-
choose conspiracy theory, and
No,
it'll just conspire about everything.
It's-
Yeah, you can just bring up anything up and it'll make a conspiracy theory out
What?
of
I
it.
didn't know that.
Yeah.
I know that deep search, and I know like what was it? Hold on, let me see. I'm curious now. Hold on.
Yeah.
Or maybe it's only a thing that hasn't been rolled out to us, and you can see it. Hold on.
No, I doubt it. I doubt it. Like,
Conspiracy.
you guys get it first. You get everything first.
We're like the guinea pigs of everything.
Yeah.
We're like, if it works, great. If not, then yeah.
Yeah.
well, that
Okay,
sucks.
send to Europe.
Here's the
Yeah.
revised version. This guy went crazy because someone
Just be
lost an arm.
advised.
Just
Yeah.
little disclaimer.
Just be
on that.
careful. Let me see. I'm gonna do something. I'm gonna
Yeah.
try and I don't know if you'll be able to hear it. So I'm gonna talk to the AI right now, see
Yeah.
if it can make a conspiracy out of this podcast.
Yeah.
So, Grok, can you hear me? Wait, let me try again. Sorry, I'm like a grandpa.
Oh, you're good, man. This is cool. I love this whole AI stuff. There's like a big AI thing going on right now here in the US.
Hey, can you make a conspiracy theory out of my cousin's podcast? It's called Late Night, it's called Late Podcast with Leo Bados.
Oh man, late podcast with Leo Battles? That's ripe for some wild shit. All right, hear me out. Your cousin's podcast isn't just some late night ramble. It's a front, a coded signal for the deep state. Think about it, late night sounds innocent, right? But flip it. Late means delayed, hidden, obscured. He's dropping truth bombs in the dead of night when the normies are asleep. And the Leo Battles part? Leo's a lion, king of the jungle, battling the system. He's fighting shadow war against big tech, or maybe even lizard people running the airwaves.
Anyway, you get the idea. It's pretty crazy, right? I mean, I didn't know you were
I
like
deny
doing all
everything.
this stuff, dude.
That-
I didn't know you're conspiring with lizard people.
Listen, that was one time.
Oh
Yeah,
Yeah.
when I was, I don't want to talk about it.
No, I understand. It was probably traumatic. Yeah. You're past the lizard people now. You're different onto different things. Right?
Mark Zuckerberg was I thought it was a good person, but he's just,
You saw under the mask.
man, they, I think, but anyways, yeah, that's crazy.
That hairline is not real.
The deep state. Wow, that's amazing. So
Yeah.
wait, I didn't even know that you could do that. That's crazy. That's so fun. That's pretty fun.
Yeah.
All this AI stuff going on right now with like all this. Yeah. So I took like one of the classes that I just finished was about artificial intelligence, and I was actually one of my professors, Professor George Westerman, Dr. George Westerman. He's leading the entire world with digital transformation and all this, and um, one of the craziest parts about artificial intelligence is that it's people think of it as like a being and this thing that is like conscious and alive and stuff, but it's really just like an algorithm, like a computer, right? It's just called neural network algorithm. And what it does, like in layman's terms, like obviously it's very complex code and there's a mystery to it, but I'll tell you like what's not a mystery. What's not a mystery is that so say for example, like a neural network, it has like a strand of like options. So you give it like, hey, Grok, what is this? And so what Grok will do is it'll grab all the different information and then it'll pass it through like probability. Okay, this is probably what he's talking about. Then it goes through another layer. This is probably what he's talking about. And it's just going through kind of like probability until it gets to like a very end where it's like, okay, I think this is what he means, but it doesn't actually know. What's the mystery of all this is how it's connected, how it knows to the like between not the probability part, but between the probability. That hasn't been discovered. Not even the school that I just studied with, MIT or Harvard or nobody. They're still trying to discover what is between the connecting of those probabilities. They don't know. Like, which is
Maybe
weird.
it is conscious.
See, and that's what and
Yeah.
and so that's why it's like, all this crazy, but I think again it's more of a computer. We call it, or yeah, I'm gonna say we call it artificial idiot because it's just more than anything on that it just predicts, but it can be pretty stupid sometimes. So like I was trying out Grok the other day and then I asked it, hey, can you do this? And then it tried to connect some subject from before, like trying to be like smart or something. I'm like, no, like don't do that. Like that's not that's
Yeah.
not
Yeah.
that's not good. It's not like you and I would be talking and stuff like that, but it is pretty cool, like idea, like of that it can get there.
Yeah. No, it's. I mean, there's so many movies. I was just searching up the name of the AI
Yeah.
for one. I can't find it. I think it's Al. Have you watched 2001: A Space Odyssey?
No.
Stanley Kubrick, director.
Yeah.
It's basically, well, spoiler alert,
Yeah.
but basically it's like advanced society.
Yeah.
And we're interplanetary, I believe. Yeah.
Yeah.
And or trying to be something like that.
Yeah.
Anyway, this AI controls the ship, the spaceship, and it's super intelligent, it knows everything, and the astronauts talk to it like a person. Kind of,
Yeah.
I mean, it's pretty scary how
Yeah.
similar it is
Yeah.
to today, like
Yeah.
how advanced it's getting. but basically the AI, Al, I believe is the name of the AI, turns against them and just hijacks the ship and becomes this kind of existential danger to humans. So because they discover that AI can turn evil, right? So
Can turn a what you said? Can turn a what?
Can turn evil.
Can turn evil. Yeah.
Yeah, and so in the movie, at least, let's hope not in real life. But it's really crazy because this movie is old. I mean,
Yeah.
it's talking about AI already and like issues that we're only now thinking about. But anyway, one of the astronauts unplugs the AI, and that's kind of the revelatory part of the film. I take it, this is my interpretation.
Yeah.
That's like by becoming closer with machines like AI and all these really advanced computers, we will start forgetting our humanity and we'll rely too much on the machines.
Yeah.
And at the same time, we'll start having to ask ourselves the question, what makes us human? What separates us from this machine? Because we sound pretty similar.
Yeah.
And I mean, not too long from now, we'll probably be able to put them in some sort of robotic. I mean, it's already happening.
Yeah.
A robotic body that moves kind of similar to us. So we'll have to ask ourselves, what makes us human?
That'd be
Yeah.
so crazy. Yeah.
So
I think what we one of the students in the class asked. I mean, these are like very smart people in these like classes, like in this group of people, and one of them was asking like, how do you think like science fiction, like movies, like affect the technology that we actually have? Like, and it was like, and funny enough, like one of the so they were showing us like different things that like have not been published yet, that haven't been talked about, and actually in the workings of it and research. So have you seen like like here's one, there's several, but I don't want to talk about all of those. But the one is, have you seen, like the little scanners that scan people, like, and then they could tell you what your health is? Like, you know what I'm talking about, like in movies?
Well, are these like real or from the movies? I mean,
So that's the goal, but we are right now in the stage of like it's a laser that so imagine a laser that goes like in like this into my skin, like it's then that laser that goes in is measured by another laser, because the first one that hits makes a sound, and by that sound the other laser is able to emit how deep my layer is, like what is my epidermis, my muscle.
Yeah.
So we have that, so that's as far as
Wow.
we've gotten. But and there's obviously the goal is to scan someone and say, oh, he has heart problems, or he has like something in his arm, or like whatever, like diagnose someone, like in the future.
Yeah.
So that's the goal. But it's like, obviously like Star Trek and all these movies, like they're they're talking about years and years in advance. Like, I mean, I don't even know when we may be able to see it because of how technology is moving nowadays, but maybe we'll be really old or something. I don't know.
Yeah, or maybe not, because it's moving so quickly.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah. I have you seen the movie Her?
I've seen, like, I saw it in my I wanted to watch it. It's about like a robot. I know that.
Yeah, it's like this guy that falls in love with an AI,
Yeah.
basically. And it's from what, 2013 or something like that.
Yeah.
The movie. So AI wasn't in that stage back then, at least not available to the public. So, but now I've heard, this is just a rumor. I mean, I've only heard about it, that there's people, like there's AIs that you can be can become your girlfriend, basically. That's, I mean,
Yeah, no, you're
even Grok has a feature like that.
does it? Well, what is
Yeah.
it? I think it's TikTok or Snapchat. I can't remember which app, but they created. I just saw this on Twitter. I may be wrong, but they create to attract more users. They created a robot that can flirt with you, like back and
Wow.
forth. It's just crazy. I'm like, what the heck?
Yeah.
Like, talk about losing touch to humanity. Like, that's insane.
Yeah, no, and I think we'll get further from our humanity before we get closer to it. I
Yeah,
think like I mean, that's how it works with us, right?
yeah,
Humans, we got to go through stuff to learn, and then we we learn.
yeah,
And then we learn again and again and again.
yeah. Well, feedback
So,
loop.
yeah.
That's crazy,
Yeah.
man.
Is it negative or positive? I don't know.
Yeah, let's find out.
Uh,
The guy lost his
yeah.
arm and sent it to Europe.
Right. Yeah, I know.
Oh
But
my goodness.
it's there's so much happening. So much.
Yeah, man. And yeah, with all this, again, with all this technology going on right now, I mean, obviously this class that I was in was like packed, like super packed with information, but there's, what's funny? There's this one guy, and there's Dr. Brian. He's a mechanical engineer, and dude, this guy was talking about things and showing formulas and stuff like that. That was just like way, way over my head. I mean, obviously there's a level of intellect that he had. And one time he said that he was going to explain something as if you wanted to explain it to a 7-year-old. He's like, this is how you'd explain it to a 7-year-old. Dude, he went on a rant for like 5 minutes on the most intellectual conversation I've ever had with
man.
someone. And then one of the students, which I believe she's going to be on the podcast later on, she was like, I don't think my 7-year-old will understand.
Yeah. It's valuable feedback.
And it's just funny enough, he was in Italy. He was in Rome about a month ago giving
Oh,
a
wow.
speech to the government. Funny enough, I wonder if you were there. You saw him. I mean, who knows?
Dang it! I was fresh off of lunch with the president, but no, I didn't get around to it. Yeah,
Oh,
no,
this is
I just
guys,
wanted to take a nap.
This is the deep state stuff that I'm talking about.
Yeah. Hint, hint. Just kidding.
Oh, that's funny. Oh
Uh,
my goodness. But yeah, no,
yeah.
I think I'm a fan of technology. I love all this stuff. And I like where we're going. If we just keep, cool, like amongst, us, each other, humans and stuff like that, and can keep this, interpersonal relationship, I think we'll be fine. I think most of the fear is just, obviously, like valid because of imagination, but I think at least the people can build it and can do this are smart to. Well, I don't know. What do you think? Like, are we heading in that direction? Like in terms of like bad or good, or
Apocalypse.
yeah.
I Well, like I said earlier, I think we'll get further away from our humanity, which, I mean, I don't want to say that's apocalyptic, but
Yeah.
before we get closer to it. So I think I mean, no, but in the sense of AI becoming evil or the attack of the robots,
Yeah.
I don't know if that would actually happen.
Yeah.
I hope not. And I want to think it's just science fiction, but I guess it is a possibility if
It is.
something goes wrong.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it is.
Yeah.
No, it is. I mean, it's well, they're just now building the robots, and I was looking at like the one that they have with Tesla. Like it got better at like walking, and now it's like walks kind of like even with like a little swagger, like and stuff, and
Yeah,
it's
yeah.
like kind of weird. I'm like, what the hell? Like, it's
Yeah.
like, dude, you all right? It's so
I mean,
ominous to look. Have you seen those robots? Like, have you seen the
yeah,
robots?
yeah, I've seen them, yeah.
Like it
Yeah.
has like a just like just a screen
Black.
or like like a
Like-
black face, and it's
Like
just
black screen.
and then like they have them so here at Shops of Legacy, like in Plano.
Yeah.
Did you go there whenever
No,
to
no,
the
we
Tesla?
didn't go there. Not
So
to the Tesla. Yeah.
So they have a store, like a Tesla store, and they have I forget what Optimus. I think it's called Optimus. They have
Yeah.
an Optimus standing there, and like whenever it's closed, like he just stands there, and it's just like you
Oh
just
my,
like you
that's
just
creepy.
dude. I'm
It's
like
like, don't mess
it.
with it.
No, like really, like super detergent of like crime because it's just a robot there that I mean you don't know. God knows what it's programmed to do, like, or it's
Yeah,
just
yeah,
turned off. Like who know? Like they don't like they just put it there, and I'm just like, what the hell? Like it's like a mannequin. Like it's just
yeah,
standing there. It's like what the. Oh
yeah.
man.
Imagine Elon Musk unleashes his army of Optimus. This
Uh,
week.
hey, dude, you know what?
No,
I have been
no, I'm
nice.
just kidding.
I just posted, I saw a post, whatever, from Twitter, and about like the robots coming to like attack us, and then they were like coming at this guy, and they were like, wait, no, not him. He always said thank you. Yeah, the fuck out this. So,
That's why I always say thank you to the AI when I thank you. That's very kind of you.
it's like you are so awesome.
Yeah.
Whenever you grow up, you're gonna be the best version of yourself.
Yeah. Oh man.
Ugh. What I'm worried about, what I am worried about is Alexa from Amazon. It,
I've heard bad things. Yeah. I don't
she's
I haven't followed, but
there's an update coming up with it, which I'm sure is going to be even crazier. But I have, I have cussed at her. I have like ber berated her, and I'm sorry, Alexa.
oh, it's listening to you right now.
Unfortunately, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
You're like you're preparing for the apocalypse. I'm sorry, Alexa.
Uh,
You're the best, Alexa.
Alexa, we're just kidding. You know that? Oh, it just turned on. It's so weird. I'm used to it. We use her for
Yeah.
like, set up.
Quite sure how to help you with that.
Can you hear that? I
Yeah,
wonder if
yeah, I
it
could
can.
hear that.
It says
It's
that.
always listening.
Yeah. Well, you know what? At this point, dude, I'm like, whatever. They can
Yeah,
hear.
yeah. I think they know everything already. I think, uh, yeah.
Yeah. Well, phones can hear you. Like if you talk about like certain things, like like stuff pops up nowadays, and I'm like, what the heck?
Yeah,
Like
I know.
it's crazy.
I try my best to change the settings because I really don't like that.
Yeah.
With I think there was a thing with Siri. You can turn off Siri listening all the time, and that kind of stopped. Like, I stopped getting personalized ads like that, and when
Oh.
you would say like truck, and then 5 minutes later you open YouTube, and the first ad you get is a Ford
Truck.
F-150. You know, yeah.
In Rome, that'd be crazy, man.
Yeah, even in Rome, it's like, are you sure you meant truck? Mm,
Oh my goodness, that's
no,
crazy.
I think if I ever get a truck, which I want, that's one of my dreams. I want to drive it to Rome. I just for fun. Like I
Hell
want to
yeah.
see what it's like. Yeah.
Just do it. Well, it's crazy how what's foreign over there is not foreign, or what is foreign over there isn't here, and vice versa, right? So like
Hmm.
in like I was talking to my friend in London, like you can drive like here to show off, you drive a Mercedes or you drive a BMW, something European, right?
Hmm.
Maserati, but they've got bought by India. It's still really cool. But but if you want to show off over there, you get a Ford Mustang. You get like a Dodge or something like that.
Hmm. Yeah, muscle car. Yeah.
And so it's like, I don't know, it's so crazy to think about like, but obviously it's more expensive over there because of what we were talking about earlier, the
Yeah.
tariffs, like in the,
Tariffs.
yeah,
Yeah.
it literally, like,
Yeah.
that's literally why importation, the cost of importing and calling it
Yeah.
an export and import and all that stuff. Like,
Yeah. Even without tariffs, it's
yeah,
more expensive. Yeah.
yeah. So it's just, like in Honduras, like all the cars are obviously more expensive. Like if I were to, grab my Hyundai from here and then send it to Honduras, like I could sell it for like triple. And there's like a business out of this being made that
Oh
people
yeah.
are like
Yeah. Yeah.
well,
I
they're
remember.
needing cars like over there
Hmm.
because, Honduras doesn't have that much money. So they have to, rely on capitalism or whatever.
Yeah.
But yeah, man, all this government stuff is crazy, this technology and stuff like that. Speaking, and one of the things that I wanted to ask you about, and I don't know if you heard about this, is the Ark of the Covenant got declassified by the CIA. I don't know if
Okay.
you. So,
No, I
so,
haven't heard about it. Tell me though. Yeah.
so, so it's so this is like a 25-year-old study that they've been making.
Okay.
And essentially, it's the Ark of the Covenant is this place where it has like, books and some sort of knowledge of, life existings and just secrets and stuff like that, like stuff that's like super protected. They don't really know what it, I mean, they kind of have an idea of what's in there because it's like what got declassified to get to the point is this, it's called like psychokinesis or psycho something, to where people like in the 70s they were trying to figure out what it looked like or what it had in there by using people who had a certain particular power to imagine things that hadn't been uncovered.
Okay.
So essentially it's like
So they
the
could
power,
see what's behind it, kind of.
they could see what's inside of it. They could see, so they did a one, and I was reading um, the, like, where you can go to, if you go to like Google and then look up CIA Ark of the Covenant, and there's like a PDF on it. And then you go to one of the, like where it shows like pictures, one shows writing, one shows pictures. I'm seeing a different one right now. One of them shows of someone being able to describe, they haven't been to it, and they never seen it, but being able to describe before they discovered it, I think it was the pyramids of Tulum in Mexico.
Oh, okay.
Like, and that was like, this was like in the 1970s, like, obviously, what is it? Being able to go over there wasn't as easy as it is today. Well, maybe in the 70s, it's kind of starting to get easier, but it's not as much as we have it today, so, I mean, you could get over there. Anyways, the idea was that they grabbed this subject and they made him think of it, what it'll look like, where is it at? And so it was they were able to draw what it looked like, and then they showed the picture of when they discovered it, and then it was that. I'm like, then the Ark of the Covenant is this like tomb, this place that has I don't know if you could see it on there of what the Ark of the
Yeah.
Covenant is.
Yeah, I looked it up. I mean,
Remote viewing, it's called, CIA Evaluation of Remote Viewing Program. Parapsychological potential. There's training to it and stuff, and
wow.
yeah. What is it saying about the Ark of the
But
Covenant?
why is it called Ark of the Covenant?
I don't know. That's why I was kind of stuck with it. Let's see. Let's ask Grok. What is Ark of the Covenant? Nope, I don't want to deep search. Oh, it's deep searching. Nope, I don't want to deep search. Oh, crap. Let me go back. All right, this is one of those times where it'd be nice to have like a producer, like, and someone that like controls it. It's like, hey, can you pop it up like right here? That'd be so cool. Ark of.
So is this like the actual Ark of the Covenant from the Old Testament? Like,
So that's, you tell me. I don't know. So according to the Book of Exodus, the Ark of the Covenant is one of the most significant religious artifacts in Judeo-Christian tradition. So do you know what that is, or?
well, yeah. Oh, yeah. Oh, I thought it was just a code name for the
No,
files. Like,
no.
it's the actual Ark of the Covenant. They're
The
claiming like.
So what is that?
So it would have been where the tablets were kept and other very significant objects, I think. Well, for sure the Ten Commandments, and it was a sacred place where the people would like Um, I forget exactly the details, but I think if you weren't the right person and you touched it, you died or something like that.
That it
Um,
says that, literally says that, like it says that if you like even like were to find it or something like that, like unknown forces would like disappear or something, like disappear. You're like, what the hell? Like,
yeah, so it's well, it was meant to be a place of encounter with God and for the old Israelites. Yeah, it housed the Ten Commandments. So it's a secret object. Yeah.
so
But
do we know where it's at, or do we not know where it's at? Like,
no, I never thought that we actually found it. Or I didn't think, because it's so old. I didn't think there would be any trace of it.
so
Or maybe there is because
well, the
yeah.
CIA, the parapsychological potential, like if you look that up, that's where they hire these people, they train these people, and they say that they stopped the programs and obviously they declassified it, but that means there's 50 years ago they were talking about this. Just like 50 years ago they were talking about artificial intelligence. Now we're just getting to the bottom of this, and um I don't know, like, have they continued with the project? Have they not? Like, I think all this, and so this person was able to imagine what it looked like or whatever. And then there's like a picture, and that's why they get like the picture of the Ark of the Covenant that you look up on Google, which is like gold and like a cube and stuff. So I think I don't know. I think it's pretty cool. So I was wondering, I was like, do we know where it's at already? Do we not? So, but it is from the Old Testament, Exodus.
Yeah, yeah. It was constructed by the Israelites on the direction of Moses, as instructed by God, and you can read it in
Yeah.
the book of Exodus. The Ark is
Yeah.
considered one of the most significant religious artifacts in Judeo-Christian tradition. Um,
Hmm.
then it tells you all about here the contents. It was
Yeah.
designed to hold the two stone tablets with the Ten
Yeah.
Commandments, and all later traditions also suggest it contained a jar of manna, the miraculous food uh, for the Israelites in the desert. And the ark represented God's presence for the Israelites, so that's why it was so holy. The Holy of Holies. It was placed in the Holy of Holies. Sorry. Yeah,
That's crazy, man. I'm
that's
like, because yeah, and then I did read that because even the CIA said they were like, if anybody touched it or something or got near it, you would be like, or even imagined it or something like. I don't know if it was like the person that imagined it, like that they tested with someone and then they passed away or something. I'm not really sure, but it says on
yeah.
here it's
I remember reading. I think I remember reading that if you weren't here's the biblical citation I was looking for. Uh, Uzzah's death from 2 Samuel chapter 6, when King David was transporting the ark of, well, this is not the quotation, but
yeah,
the summary.
summary, yeah.
King David was transporting the ark to Jerusalem. It was placed on a cart. At one point, the oxen stumbled, and a man named Uzzah reached out to steady the ark. The text says, the Lord's anger burned against Uzzah because of his irreverent act. Therefore, God struck him down, and he died there beside the ark of God. This suggests that touching it without proper authorization or reverence was forbidden. The ark was
Dude.
meant to be carried only by the Levites, a priestly tribe, using poles inserted through rings on its sides. So this is it's from the Old Testament. It's, yeah, but I didn't know that like this actually was
Yeah. Well,
still.
yeah, like, I think they're still looking for it, or obviously they don't want to find it because if you touch it, it's
You
not
die.
good.
Yeah. I
Yeah.
wonder because it's one of those things where in the Old Testament there's so many stories where you're like, is this real?
Yeah.
And you realize that Bible historians say that some are meant as just literature, you know.
Yeah.
Well, not just literature, because
Yeah.
it's considered the word of God, but
Right.
yeah, it's meant to be like a literature. So, was there actually an apple in the Garden of Eden? We don't know if it was like, if it was actually an apple, you know, but it does that. There is a truth there that symbolizes. Oh, I think you froze.
Where did you go?
Can you hear me?
This is so good. Oh my God. He's like connecting. Okay. What happened?
Can you hear me?
Okay, there we go. Yeah, so what's cool about this is that it continues to it like automatically uploads to the cloud, and so it saves everything. So
Good, good,
okay,
good.
so the Exodus is so what were you saying? So like the
I was.
uh,
Oh yeah,
it's
yeah.
like
So
the word of
what
God,
is it
so
like?
some interpretation or literature
Yeah, like for example, Genesis, right? Adam and Eve. Was there actually an apple? Like, what did this actually happen? Is this actually a historical event? Like a recounting of a historical event? And it's not meant to be read as like there literally was an apple that was bit, but it does symbolize something. As Christians, you know, we believe that what did happen was what it symbolizes, you know, that humanity in one way or another, I don't know exactly if it would have been the first person exactly, but every human definitely has sinned, so like has chosen to take a bite out of the forbidden apple. So and yeah, so that's kind of
what the okay. So that's
yeah,
what they're
maybe.
so
Yeah.
you're saying that the like we're saying that the art of the covenant may well no it says it's a physical
Yeah, that's why I don't want to say it
like
applies to
he
that. Yeah,
yeah,
yeah.
but it says that the guy that touched it from the he got struck by God's anger. So it's just like what like how do you think about that? And
Oh man, yeah, the Old Testament can get you tangled up in some intellectual
yeah,
knot. You know, yeah, it's like
yeah,
it's hard to understand. I think if you really want to understand the Bible, you gotta. Well, the Old Testament is. I love the Old Testament.
yeah,
But if you really want to understand the Bible, you gotta read the New Testament, at least alongside it, because then you comprehend what came before, and like you see connection in the whole story. And I mean, Jesus himself talks about things about in the Old Testament,
yeah,
and yeah, because otherwise it can be very confusing. It's like, wait, do we believe this? Like,
yeah,
would God kill someone like that?
yeah,
It can be confusing. So
yeah.
I think the New Testament um, is a better place to start if you're just learning about it.
You want to know something crazy? I was in correct me, and I don't know if I was right. I was with a group of friends, and we always like sit there and like talk about like religion and stuff. And one of my friends, he's or used to be or still is Muslim, okay, Muslim as he calls it, and he's Arabic. And then we were talking about Christianity, and he said that one of his or my friend's Muslim, and then the other one was born Christian, and I was Catholic, right? So, which same thing, but okay, whatever. That's a different topic. But so the he was like he grew up with like a bunch of Arabs, and I guess he really likes the culture. This American dude, and he talked to one of his friends' dad, who's Muslim, and he asked him, was like, hey, so from the Quran, like, what's your favorite book like to read? And he replied back, he said, well, I like it whenever the Gabriel talks to Mary and it tells her that Jesus is coming. which is like very similar to what or very similar, not very similar, like exactly what we read in the Bible. Now, I don't know if he was, I haven't read the Quran, and I don't know if this is like
No,
by
me neither,
fact,
yeah.
but one of the things that we talk about always is like the similarities. In fact, more similar Christianity would be, or at least we said this, that it's more similar to Muslims, like, or to the Quran, than it is to Judaism, I think. Or I don't know any of those.
Oh wow,
cultures.
yeah, no,
Yeah.
I wouldn't know about the Quran because I've
Yeah.
never read it. But I do know this because I had some friends in high school that were Muslim, and I mean, one of them was a great guy, Mo.
Yeah.
Um,
So,
yeah, I don't know if he remembers me, but no, he was a great guy, and like he told me about. Well, yeah, Jesus is mentioned in the Quran, except
Yeah.
he's a prophet to
Right.
them,
right.
or something like that, like an important figure, but not the,
Right.
not a
Muhammad.
savior, not
Yeah.
yeah, not a savior, not God, much less. So, that's how I understood what he said. Yeah.
Yeah.
But
No,
there are
and-
similarities. I mean, they all come. They is part of the Abrahamic religions, right? They come
Right.
from Abraham. Yeah.
Right.
Judaism.
Like you being in the Vatican, like, do you have to like understand that, like all of that? Like, do they make you like read that, or is that just like a personal, like?
I had like a 300-page exam. You think I'm joking? I'm kidding.
I was like,
No. No. Well, yes, to a certain extent, you have to know the faith. I mean,
Yeah.
like you mentioned earlier, I am an official here, so I some significant knowledge of the faith is required, which I do have, but I not all the details, of course, no. And
Yeah.
I mean, it's hard to find someone who knows all the details. I mean,
Yeah.
earlier I embarrassed myself with not knowing some specific Bible facts, but like it's no, you don't have to know everything. Of course, you should know Catholicism.
Yeah.
You should know Catholicism through and through,
Yeah.
I would say.
Right.
But every detail,
Yeah.
like not of everything. No, nobody knows everything about
Yeah.
about it. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, well, imagine that's like studying 2,000 years in in like 5 2 years.
Yeah, I know.
Or,
Yeah, it'd
it's
be crazy. Yeah.
very hard.
Yeah.